Hi, I'm Teacher Nelson, and I'm here to discuss some concepts in math. Competency: the learner characterizes the roots of a quadratic equation using the discriminant, describes the relationship between the coefficients and the roots of a quadratic equation, and solves equations transformable to quadratic equations, including rational algebraic equations. And our objectives or expectations: you are expected to 1. Describe the nature of the roots of the quadratic equations using its discriminant. 2. Find the sum and the product of the roots of the given quadratic equations. 3. Determine the quadratic equations given its sum and product. 4. Write the equation given the roots. And 5. Solve equations transformable into quadratic. Let's have a review. Let's define what is quadratic equation. A quadratic equation in one variable is a mathematical sentence of degree 2. When you say degree 2, it is the highest exponent or the highest exponent of the variables among the terms is 2. And the quadratic equation can be written in standard form: ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. And we can solve quadratic equations using the following method: extracting square roots, factoring, completing the square, and using the quadratic formula. Now let's have the first lesson: the nature of the roots of quadratic equations. Let's have first the quadratic formula. I-recall muna natin kung ano yung quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is x equals to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And the quadratic formula is applicable to any quadratic equations. And the expression inside the radical symbol is what we call discriminant. And the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, it determines the nature of roots of a quadratic equation. Once again, discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So as you can see, it is a formula, b squared minus 4ac. Dahil formula yan, kailangan natin ng values. Substitute na. Okay, saan natin makikita yon? Doon din mismo sa quadratic equation. And take note class, kailangan bago nyo identify yung values of a, b, and c, kailangan nakasulat yung quadratic equation ninyo in standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Kapag hindi nakasulat in standard form, kailangan nyo munang i-write yon in standard form before you identify the values of a, b, and c and use in the formula. Okay? Now let's have the conditions. If b squared minus 4ac equals to 0, then the roots are real, rational, equal. 2. If b squared minus 4ac greater than 0 and a perfect square, then the roots are real, rational, and equal. If b squared minus 4ac greater than 0 and not perfect square, then the roots are real, irrational, and unequal. Last but not the least, if b squared minus 4ac less than 0, then the equation has no real roots. Okay, recall lang natin, no? What do you mean by rational? When you say rational or rational numbers, these are numbers or value or quantity that can be written in a form of fraction. Kabaliktaran naman yung irrational. Irrational naman are quantities or numbers that cannot be written in a form of fraction. Okay? Now let's have the examples. Example 1. X squared plus 12x plus 36 equals to 0. So, tingnan muna natin kung nakasulat ba yan in standard form. Yes. X squared plus 12x plus 36 equal to 0 is already written in standard form. So now let's identify the values of A, B, and C. The value of A, it is the numerical coefficient beside x squared. Okay, yun yung number na katabi ng x squared sa left side. And as you can see, walang katabi si x squared sa left side. Ibig sabihin, the value of A is 1. And then next, the value of B. The value of B is the numerical coefficient beside x. Ibig sabihin, yung number na katabi ni x sa may left side, and that will be the value of B. So you can see, ang katabi ni x sa left side, ang katabi na number ni x sa left side ay 12. So therefore, the value of B is 12. And then C, it is the constant term. Ibig sabihin, walang variable na katabi. So that will be 36. So therefore, the value of C is 36. Okay? Now, we already identified the values of A, B, and C. This time, we're going to substitute all the values in the formula to find the discriminant. We have D equals to B squared minus 4AC. Let D, capital letter D, be the discriminant. Okay? Now let's substitute the variable B by its value, which is 12. A, which is 1, and C, which is 36. So we will have now 12 squared minus 4 times 1 times 36. So follow the GEMDAS rule. Grouping symbol, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Okay? So this time, unahin natin yung may exponent. Kasi yung grouping symbol naman natin, wala namang kailangan i-simplify sa loob. So exponent tayo. Yung may exponent ay 12. So 12 squared, and that will be 144. Next, multiplication or division. So dito multiplication lang naman meron. So unahin natin yung multiplication. Negative 4 times 1 times 36. Negative 4 times 1, that is negative 4. And negative 4 times 36, that is negative 144. So we will have now 144 minus 144. Okay, i-minus natin yan, and that will be 0. The discriminant is 0. So ano nga ba kapag ang discriminant is 0? The roots are real, rational, and equal. Okay? Since the discriminant is equal to 0, therefore, roots are real, rational, and equal. Let's have second example. Example 2. X squared minus 3x minus 18 equal to 0. Naka-standard ba yan? Yes. Now, let's identify the values of A, B, and C. The value of A is 1. The value of B is negative 3. The value of C is negative 18. Now, using the formula, B squared minus 4AC, let's substitute the values. The value of B is negative 3. The value of A is 1. And the value of C is negative 18. So we will have negative 3 raised to 2 minus 4 times 1 times negative 18. What is negative 3 raised to 2? That's 9. Next, negative 4 times 1, that's negative 4. And negative 4 times negative 18 is positive 72. So we will have 9 plus positive 72. Add natin yan. The answer is positive 81. Okay? So as you can see, the discriminant is positive, which means greater than 0. Okay? Greater than 0. Ngayon, dalawa yung conditions, no, under ng kapag ang discriminant ay greater than 0. Merong dalawang conditions meron doon. Una, perfect square. Pangalawa, not a perfect square. Identify muna natin, ang 81 ba ay perfect square or not? The answer is, it is a perfect square. Why? Because if you're going to get the square root of 81, the result is 9, a whole number, exact value, right? So therefore, the roots are real, rational, and unequal. All right? Another example. X squared minus 7 equal to 0. Ito ba ay written in standard form? The answer is yes. Now let's identify the values of A, B, and C. The value of A, numerical coefficient beside x squared, and that will be 1. And as you can see naman, wala yung x. It means the value of B is 0. And then the value of C is the constant term, which is negative 7. That will be the value of C, negative 7. So we have now the values of A, B, and C. A is equals to 1, B is equal to 0, and C is equals to negative 7. Now let's substitute all the values in the formula to get the discriminant. The formula, once again, B squared minus 4AC. The value of B is 0. The value of A is 1. The value of C is negative 7. Now let's substitute all the values. Let's substitute the variables, all the variables by its values. So the value of B is 0, the value of A is 1, and the value of C is negative 7. Now let's solve. What is 0 squared? 0. Next, negative 4 times 1, that's negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 7, that is positive 28. Therefore, the discriminant is 28. Okay? And as you can see, it is positive, greater than 0. Next question. Ano ba yan? Yan ba ay perfect square or not? Kasi greater than 0 eh. Dalawa yung conditions na meron doon kapag greater than 0. Perfect square ba o hindi? 28 class is not a perfect square because if you get the square root of 28, the result is a decimal number. Hindi exact or hindi whole number ang sagot. So therefore, the roots are real, irrational, and unequal. Okay? Let's proceed to example number 4. X squared plus 4x plus 5 equal to 0. Naka-standard form ba? Yes. Identify na natin yung values ng A, B, and C. The value of A is 1. The value of B is 4. The value of C is 5. Alright? Now let's substitute all the values in the formula. B squared minus 4AC. B is 4, A is 1, and C is 5. Ayan, sinubstitute lang natin. No? Sinubstitute lang natin yung mga variables by its value. So we have now 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5. Solve na natin yan. What is 4 squared? 4 squared is 16 minus 4 times 1 or negative 4 times 1, that's negative 4. Negative 4 times 5, that's negative 20. So we have now 16 minus 20. What is 16 minus 20? That is negative 4. So you can see negative 4, meaning to say the discriminant is less than 0. Alright? So what are the roots? What are the nature, or what is the nature of the roots if the discriminant is less than 0? The roots are imaginary. The equation has no real roots. Okay? Let's have another example. Example number 5. 4x equals to x squared minus 5. Alright? Naka-standard form ba? No. So, kapag ganyan yung case, you must rewrite the equation in standard form. Alright? So, paano gagawin yan? We just need to move the x squared and negative 5 to the left. By addition property of equality, magbabago yung mga signs nila. From positive x squared, it will become negative x squared on the left. And the negative 5 will become positive 5 on the left. So we will have negative x squared, negative x squared plus 4x plus 5 equals to 0. So that will be the equation now, the standard form of the given quadratic equation. Now, let's identify the values of A, B, and C. The value of A beside x squared is negative 1. And the value of B beside x is positive 4. So B is equals to 4. And then C is the constant term, which is 5. Now, using the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. Let's substitute the values now. So we will have b is positive 4, so we will have here 4 squared minus 4 times the value of a is negative 1, and the value of c is 5. Alright, now let's solve. Let's put a barrier here. Alright, so let's continue. So we have now 4 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times 5. So solve na lang natin yan. So we'll have d is equals to 4 squared, that's 16, and negative 4 times negative 1, that's positive 4, and positive 4 times 5, that's positive 20. Right? So we will have now 16 plus 20, and that will be 36. So we have d, should be d equals to 36. So therefore the discriminant is 36. Okay? Positive. So greater than 0. The discriminant is greater than 0. Now let's see kung ito ba ay perfect square or not. Is 36 a perfect square? The answer is it is a perfect square because the square root of 36 is 6. So dahil dyan, the discriminant is greater than 0 and a perfect square. Therefore, the roots are real, rational, and unequal. Alright? Okay.